Now it's time to move on to bad OCs. Smooth, tell us all about the OC that you brought to this party.
This is Artstroke. She is also an artist, just like Fine Arts.
Man.
She also goes by Artie, but she goes by Art and then IE, whereas Fine Arts went by Art and then Y. So that could get confusing if they ever hung out.
Super confusing.
But she also has the nickname of Arts, even though Fine Arts had the name of Arts. It's a weird world we live in. Personality-wise, she's basically a mother. Like, protective, helpful, responsible, friendly.
Says it right there. Motherly.
Yeah, because also, by the way, she is a mother.
Oh!
So, that helps. She has that because it makes sense. Yay! Things making sense. Things making sense!
Yay!
Favorite colors are purple and pink, which is quite apparent in her mane. And she, as a hobby, likes to draw. And occupation, she owns a shop where ponies buy her paintings. So I assume she's not more of a pencil and paper artist, but more of a painting artist. Because most artists have one that they're specifically good at more than others, like stuff like that.
I like the fact that she is we already just said stuff about it, but I really like the fact that it's like, oh yeah, she's motherly, and she's a mother, and is like married and stuff like that. Because I've seen so many OCs where it's like, yeah, she's really motherly and she's really compassionate and caring, but there's no like reason for it. It's just they sort of are. Whereas this pony's like, yeah, she's a mother, she's motherly, makes sense, boom.
You can still have other characters that are motherly without having children, though.
Well, yeah, of course, but it adds to it.
Yeah,
I think that's a solid background. It's pretty good.
Story's fine.
I want to know things about, like, why there's that, like, chip in her ear, though. Like, is there anything about that, Smooth?
Oh, yeah, I suppose that is a story point.
No, there's not.
Damn it!
But that's not the actual reason I bring this on for bad and not good. The reason is because of the color palette and the choice here. I just don't think the colors mix very well. They aren't pastel either, so
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty vibrant.
This almost looks like Medi's old OC, the colors do.
It kind of does.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
While I do love socks, what the hell? I don't like these ones.
I hate the socks.
I don't like them. They don't fit at all. Like, what the hell
Well, they
is happening?
fit, but they just don't fit with the character's color scheme.
Stop. Why are the cuffs yellow, and why are the cuffs, like, really weird?
Oh.
Why yellow? Okay. I
get more orange.
We've got
I think it's
purple.
gold.
I'd say it's like a mustard yellow, like a gold.
Like a Dijon mustard.
Like a kind of weird
Dijon
bronze
mustard.
gold.
Dang it! Now I'm hungry. You jerk.
Well, it's definitely not normal mustard. Normal mustard's just yellow.
You're normal mustard. Anyway, there's brown. There's this like really weird slate blue. There's two different colors of purple.
There's
It's
nowhere.
whatever that
slate.
blue is. Whatever the hell. Shut up. Whatever the hell this blue is.
Green?
There's two shades of purple. Is it a green? I don't even care. There's the red. There's the tan in the paintbrush. There's the yellow. There's the black. There's almost 10 colors on this fucking thing.
There's a lot of colors. A lot of different themes for colors going on.
Don't do that, please. Honestly,
Yeah.
Since I feel really mean for bashing on it a bunch, the main design is phenomenal. I do have to say that.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I would definitely agree that the design is really good.
Actually, the main design is really, really good. Especially, like, in the back, how it kind of has that little little fold overlap thing for the back. I like that.
Yeah.
Like right up where it transitions from the front mane to the back mane, that little like foldy thingy.
Yeah.
I like that. And I just like how it like curls and it's curly and stuff.
But I definitely would adjust the colors though. Like I'm not like this color or this OC is just so kind of all over the place with the colors that I don't know which direction would be the best to go. I maybe would start by like reducing saturation levels and stuff like that in the main, because it's a bit jarring, especially in comparison to the coat. And
Look up
I don't
pastel
know.
colors.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the main colors are fine. If you change the coat color,
together.
if you
I think
change
they're
the
fine
coat
together,
color,
but-
I bet you it would look better because it's just so like
Probably.
contrasting and adverse that it's just not good.
I do think it would
That's-
need to be
that's true.
the saturation does need to be brought down a bit as well, though.
Yeah. Overall, I like what she has. Obviously, the only real problem we had was with the colors and the socks, and the cutie mark was a bit much in my eyes. I don't remember if we said anything about it, but
Yeah, it's pretty.
the
Yeah.
ear thing's kind of. But overall, this isn't really bad. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well then, moving on from that OC, we're going to go on to Soren's bad OC this week. Soren, tell us all about this one.
Well, this is Anomaly, and it's not a pony. It's a magic-born spatial entity, whatever the hell that means.
Well, clearly
So-
it means that it was more born of magic in space.
As her name would apply, Anomaly is not from Equestria. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, at first I was like, did that work? And then I actually looked up the dictionary definition of anomaly because I was a little, like, foggy on it. And then I was like, yeah, that actually works. That's pretty cool.
What is the textbook definition of anomaly?
Well, you see, Bubblified, if you pull it up right now, something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. And in the MLP universe, well, show-wise, what's standard or the quote-unquote norm is Equestria. And so I thought it worked out well enough. So she arrived as an essence or an ethereal form in a meteorite, and basically War of the Worlds ensued. There was a meteorite in the thing, and a scientist came up and he was like, hey, a meteorite, but I don't want to touch that shit with my hooves. So actually she was found by Professor Keen Eye, and he was basically excavating around this meteorite that had crashed into the Equestria. Then the Anomaly kind of gains a like father-daughter relationship with what's his name? Keen Eye. Yeah.
So that seems more of like a backstory of the character rather than actual definition or explanation of the character herself. Like, I don't...
Yeah, that's all that was sort of put.
That's my main gripe then.
She has a she also has this disguised appearance, which is a unicorn. So she disguises when she goes out into public so as not to freak people out. It's a unicorn with a dark blue coat and a lavender and white striped mane with light blue eyes. Is there art for that anywhere? If so, I'd like to see that, or at least link it in the description of this pony. That's like a really good thing to do if you have alternate forms, to put them in the description of this.
Yeah.
Like the original thing. It's definitely drawing heavily from War of the Worlds with the immune system thing and the meteorite crashing. Apparently, she doesn't need to eat, and she absorbs energy exuded by the sun, moon, and stars.
So then what the fuck? This character is really confusing. She's allergic to magic, or the magic that's in the world, but yet she feeds off the energy exerted by the sun, but yet when she's disguised, she disguises as a unicorn?
Yeah.
I don't get this. this is really badly either explained, written, described, but it all seems very not thought out.
I think it may just like not have been. The idea in itself, as a raw idea, isn't terrible, but I think the way it was put across was a little bit like a few things could be changed, obviously, but
yeah,
I think like I don't know, maybe it just needs more because
I think it does.
The whole story, the whole backstory is really long, but the summary of it is pretty simple. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's basically just spatial entity comes to Earth, gains a body, gains a father figure in this professor. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but there's a few holes here and there, honestly, that could be filled.
It's not bad. Like, it's not inherently bad, but
it's not terrible, but it's not.
There's just some tweaking that needs to be done, and then like you were saying about sort of adding maybe the personality kind of thing, but
yeah, apparently she always keeps. Okay, the only thing I saw about like personality was she keeps a stoic expression similar to Maud Pie, and in the description I didn't really see anything about her mannerisms or anything like that.
Wait, if she keeps a stoic expression like Maud Pie, why is one of the pictures of her smiling?
I don't know.
Or being angry?
It says she normally keeps a stoic expression. So I'm assuming if you could just clear that up. Say like normally keeps a stoic expression, but still has feelings. Like isn't just like an android type character that's just like, hello, I am from space. I do not feel these pony feelings. But yeah, if you put mannerisms down, the backstory with its holes is still fine. The character design is pretty interesting, and normally I really love gradients, but these ones just aren't done right. Like, I don't like them that much. Given it is supposed to be a thing from space, so it probably looks a little weird.
Yes. That is exactly it.
That is true. Too damn drastic. And the wing things are pretty cool, but explain those more, because I don't understand them. Are they just like part of the species, or nothing necessarily wrong with the wing design? Just like explain them, please. What are they? And maybe keep the colors more consistent. Like the wing things kind of fade into a green. The mane kind of does that too, like very, very slightly at the end of the gradient before it goes white. You can see green, but I mean it's not as prevalent. So maybe try to keep the gray and blue theme, and maybe make the gradients less drastic. And it would all around be a pretty good design, I think.
Well then, thank you for that there, Soren. Let's move on to the next pony. That means that it's going to Commander, because it's the exact same order we've been doing all night.
This episode.
Yes, this episode.
So, pony that I brought this week for the Bad Pone section is this pony, Sunset Remedy. Sunset Remedy is of the sort of young adult age category, which I like that. Age categories are a good way to go. They're a mare, obviously. The unicorn, and their key mark is a brown paw print with a pale pink red cross, which symbolizes the fact that she's sort of like a veterinarian into animal health and care, and personality traits which fit in a lot with that idea is sort of benevolent, caring, motherly, once again, kind, friendly, hardworking, genuine, creative, insightful, optimistic, organized, blah blah.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
So many things.
Not going to say all of them because there's just so many, and it will just.
If you don't, I will. Just kidding. We're not going there.
No, which regarding that, I think it's nice to have personality traits, but
goddamn, if you have too many.
If you have that many, it's sort of best to sort of find a way to show these things. Take general traits that are similar, try to condense them into fewer words, and then anything else that you don't have with that, try to find a way of incorporating it into the backstory so you can just show us how they behave like this, not just listing off 25 different traits. But then for her likes, she really likes like food, particularly sweets and stuff. Likes cute things, animals, obviously, music, sunsets, hence the which I'm assuming has to do with the name, the beach, nerdy things, and art. There's a question mark next to dislikes, so I'm not sure whether that means that she doesn't dislike things or whether the artist hasn't, or whether the artist hasn't thought of any. I'm assuming it's just that the artist hasn't thought of any, which, if that's the case, then I won't fault you too much for that, because I mean, sometimes it's hard to think of things that your character dislikes, but I would definitely try to add something to that, just because, I don't know, having dislikes helps create a character. Well, she was born, raised in Ponyville, and when she was a young filly, she was really shy and timid, and she almost wouldn't speak to anyone, which made her just, awkward, because that's how it ends up being if you can't speak to people. Due to this, she got bullied a lot by other fillies, and one day she was like crying by herself after all this during the sunset, and there was a bunch of some of the woodland creatures and critters and stuff of a bunch of different species, sort of like they could feel it deep in their souls, and they came to like cheer her up and give her company, and since she had never been treated with kindness like that by anyone, she it made her like feel better, and it cheered her up, and so sort of after that, she decided that she would take it upon herself to then help and care for animals the way that they had helped and cared for her, and that's when her cutie mark appeared. Now she currently owns her own sort of veterinarian healthcare or animal care office, where any pony in Ponyville can bring their sick or injured pets, or just any animals that they found that are sick and injured to her, and she'll try to help them out and stuff like that. But that's pretty much that's what they've got so far for backstory and all that stuff. So what are your guys' opinions before I jump into this?
Typical pony being bullied, cared for animals, kind of Fluttershy, but
well, I mean, honestly, this is obviously a pony sona. It's got to be, because the whole personality traits, benevolent, caring, motherly, likes nerdy things. That's generally like a thing that you can tell it's a pony sona, because basically what comes from the too many personality traits thing is, I think, people trying to describe themselves, and humans have a lot of personality traits, and that's where I think it just becomes a bit overwhelming. Like, if you try to make your pony sona as yourself, because humans are diverse and they have a shit ton of personality traits, maybe if you just took a few. Which
they actually did say at the very beginning that this was a redesign, and they turned it into their pony sona instead of just a normal OC.
Yeah.
So you're spot on with that.
So yeah, I can just kind of feel when something is a pony sona, because it's not too hard if you take context clues and shit. But yeah,
but
honestly,
I would definitely agree.
It's not terrible, not a terrible story by any means.
So, on to aesthetics. Aesthetics is sort of the main reason for me that I brought this OC on for the bad section. Gonna get right into it. I don't like the mane and tail. Like some of the colors in them could work. I think maybe a combination of like the lavender and yellow. If you made the yellow a little bit darker, I'm not sure. Yellows, I always have such trouble with figuring out which way to go with yellow. Those two colors could work together if you tweak them a little bit, but with the dark purple, that in the yellow clash too much in my opinion. And I also don't really like the spots. I don't see I don't think the character gains anything from having them, and it sort of just I personally think that it sort of detracts and like distracts my vision when I look at this character. I like see those like immediately, and it's not something I would think that you'd want the eyes to be drawn towards. And then for the cutie mark, I mean, obviously having the paw print it's a little bit of a cliche, but I have no problem with that. And what I was thinking is just sort of one of the ideas I thought of how you could possibly tweak it, because the cross in it, like, I understand the relation, but I think it would be cool if maybe you could have sort of a thing. I don't know exactly what the best way to visualize it would be, but maybe having part of the paw be wrapped in bandages, just like really like minimalistic bandages that would symbolize it better than having a cross, just because there's less ambiguity. So I'll start with that. You guys, things?
I agree full-heartedly about the dots. I don't like them at all. I don't like the multiple colors, just like you mentioned. It all just seems a little much.
Aside from restating things I've already said,
the hair's a little bit too flat, in my opinion. I like manes with a little bit more body, but that's just me personally. I think that having something that, comes off the head a little bit more is something that you could possibly work with.
Yeah, she should get a pompadour.
Exactly.
Personal stuff aside, though, but yeah, it also, I don't like the cutie mark either. Like the paw print with the cross on it, it's a little, I don't know, it's weird.
I think the orange is really dark. Really just strange. And I don't like
it's just like, it's right in that off area where I'm not sure. There's a lot of not sure what to do with this character.
Yeah.
I'd say get rid of the darkest purple, so I'm only working with colors right here. I'd say tone down the saturation of the coat, definitely, by quite a bit. Tone down the saturation just a smidgen of the light purple, pink, lavender thing. And I think the eyes work pretty well, but make sure that the eyes actually thing, because the style that they're used looks really weird and odd, because one of the highlights is actually dark.
So, this character, I mean, it could use a lot of work specifically in the aesthetics department. In terms of character, I mean, it's nothing bad. There's a little cliche here and there, but there's nothing that sticks out like a sore thumb in there. But I just would mostly work on colors and maybe a little bit on the redesigning, like mane and tail.
Well, then, let's move on from that OC and get to our final bad OC of the night. This is going to be my bad OC, but this is Hunter Raven by Dr. Sky Huntsman. This OC is a little bit confusing in their backstory. They talk about how that Hunter was born into a large family. She no longer lives with them, but lives with another family. Why did she have to go live with another family? She is from England, though her dream is to travel the world and has to many different countries. She can speak parts of some languages. You often find her daydreaming or buried her with her nose in a book or writing stories or songs. She is an odd pony, often making mistakes. She often has mood shifts. She is very creative and loves creating stories and characters. Her stories usually are about fantasy and revolve around imaginary words. Her key mark is a book and pen due to her love of stories of the fantasy world. She is creative, crazy, loud, can be shy, paranoid, weird, and nerdy. Now, I don't know why or how someone can be creative, crazy, and loud, but also shy, paranoid, weird, and nerdy. Those seem like conflicting things. She lives nowhere, apparently. She just travels all the time. She just lives and travels and whatnot. There's other things with her whole her listing things. It's like she's a writer, but does help out for the local paper as a journalist. She is late teen, maybe 16. Her interest, if you couldn't tell by the description, is that she loves writing, doodling, creating, helping her family, and traveling. She apparently wishes she was in a relationship, and her pet is a baby owl named Pepper. Yeah. So the backstory on this character is really confusing, and how they say things in it, but they never back it up with details or things to explain why. Why does she not live with them anymore? Who is this other family she lives with? She's from England, but her dream is to travel the world. Well, if her dream is to travel the world, then why in the thing do you say travel, usually in England with her family? Is this her regular family or this other family she lives with? How many kids does this other family have? Why is she constantly traveling just in England, and really she means that she wants to travel more globally and more worldly travel rather than just England? There are a lot of things in this character that seem very confusing and not detailed enough. It's pretty clear and obvious she is a bookworm and she likes writing and she is a writer pony, but these sub things around her character, rather than the main focus of like her actual special talent and cutie mark and whatnot, the underlying things seem to be where everything falls apart. It's very easy for us to understand that yes, she is a writer, yes, she does these things, but where, like I said, it falls apart when you dive deeper. And I don't like that. I think that there needs to be more behind this. Tell us more about why this family is disappearing, where she wants to go, and et cetera, et cetera. What do you guys think of the backstory?
I mean, like you said, there's definitely some things that, like, seem strange, like the whole wants to travel but can't because of family, but travels with family, and that, I mean, I don't know. You covered a lot of the bases, because there's not too much going on. It's not necessarily bad, but there's just a few things that, I don't know, confused and off-put a little bit. Not too much.
Again, it seems like a young person's, like, teenager's pony sona.
Especially since apparently she's late teen, maybe 16. Which late teen is not 16. Late teen is like 18. 19, 20, or 19, 18.
20. Yeah, 20.
You're that late teenage 20-year-old.
Like, that's mid-teens. Like, 14, 15, 16 is a little mid-teens.
I'm in my late 30s, 57.
So, besides the fact that it says my personal pony OC, I'm going to say, yeah, this is a young person's pony sona, and that's why it's kind of how it is.
Yes. I want to talk about the actual aesthetics behind it. I do not like the color used in the mane, the coat, the wings, the hooves, a lot of this pony. I think the only thing that really is the best starting point for this character is the actual coat color. The coat color is just fine. It seems like an A-OK pony. The stroke is also a nice color to have with the actual base color of the coat. Where it falls apart is the fact that you decide to take the two-tone color in the wings and make it...
I say that the outline is way too saturated.
The outline is way too saturated? Well, yeah.
Sorry.
See, that's the difference of opinion. So it works perfectly fine, and for some, but definitely for, like, obviously others, like with in case of Smooth, it can be a little bit too strong. I mean, you may want to try dialing it back with your colors, on the stroke color at least, but when it comes to having a two-tone wing like that in something just so saturated with that brown in the wing and in the hooves, it's just too much. Not to mention the fact that the color used in the little color used section is not the same color that you have in the actual OC. unless you're actually talking about the eyes, which in that case, you're missing a color that you used. Also, the blue and the red are way too saturated. Same thing with the brown in the eyes. There's a lot that needs to be fixed.
The green's nice. It's like a pistachio
Yes.
green.
I do like the
I
green.
like the green. That was one thing with colors I was really thinking.
I like alternate wing colors, like how the front part of the wing, but then the feathers are a different color. I've always really liked that too. Honestly, I think if you took the blue out and tweaked what is that, maroon, brown, reddish, whatever, if you took the blue completely out and tweaked that color that's behind it just a little bit, I think it would work just fine. Maybe change the brown in the eyes to something else, because that's a lot of brown going on. But I really do have to say I've always loved when the feathers are a different color than the wing or the body on a Pegasus. That's my thing.
I mean, definitely the green was the thing I specifically was thinking. I don't know. I forget. Did it say anything about the ear?
Nope.
So, that's a mini theme for the part of this episode is
Ripped ears.
messed up ears, ripped ears, and stuff. I mean, they're not inherently bad, but without some kind of explanation, just having it be there, I personally don't really like it. I think that if there's a good enough reason for it, if it works with the character, that's fine, but for this character, I would just recommend getting rid of it.
I think that there is a lot to fix with this pony, but like we say with a lot of OCs, that there's never a truly bad quote-unquote OC. There's just more work to be done on other ones. So I like the idea and concept that could be fixed about this pony. I like where this pony could possibly go, and I really want to see where this person takes it. So fix a couple of things, rework colors, flesh out the backstory, try to actually keep the colors that you used in the OC to actually the colors you used in the OC, and everything will turn out all right. But that being said, we are done with bad OCs this week, so let's move on to the voting. Good OCs this week was Bluebell Breeze by Princess Madeline. Commander brought in Sea Salt by the Gearhead Pony. Soren brought in Status Sphere by Michelle, my bell. And then Smooth brought in Fine Arts by Shadow Dial. Now, going back in the same order we presented in, and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party, Smooth, who do you vote for your favorite OC this week?
I vote for Status Sphere.
Cool.
Yeah.
Soren?
I vote for Fine Arts.
Commander?
I am also going to vote for Fine Arts.
And I'd probably have to give mine to Fine Arts as well.
Yay!
So way to go, Smooth.
Good OC.
Congratulations.
Good OC out of good.
Good job.
That being said, moving on to bad OCs this week, I brought in Hunter Raven by Dr. Sky Huntsman. Commander brought in Sunset Remedy by Tahome Chan 75. Soren brought in Anomaly by Tori the AEV 1234, and then Smooth brought in Artstroke by Kid Wizard. So, like we did with good OCs, now on to bad OCs. Smooth, who do you vote for least favorite OC this week?
Hunter Raven.
Cool.
Snap.
Soren?
Shit. They all have potential to be something so much better. I say probably Sunset Remedy.
And then, I am going to be giving my vote also to Hunter Raven.
That means that we're coming into a tie because I give my vote to Sunset Remedy.
Dun, dun,
Man,
dun.
So, like we always do, whenever we have a tie on this here show, we bring it up to the classic time-honored game of rock, paper, scissors. Now, without any webcams or anything like that, we are just going to simply rock, paper, scissors it out to see who wins Bad OC this week. So, Commander, are you ready?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
What'd you get?
I got a rock.
I also got a rock.
All right. 1,
Wow.
2, 3, shoot.
What'd you get?
Rock.
Paper.
Ah, shit. Well, then that means that Sunset Remedy wins Bad OC this week by the decision of rock, paper, scissors. So, congratulations, Commander.
Boom.
Cool beans. So since Medi's gone, Soren, do you want to run off the plugs where people can send in OCs or questions or anything like that?
Well, seeing as how Medi always complains that nobody listens to him anyway, maybe they'll listen to me. Go to submit it at the DeviantArt at eurocsucks.deviantart.com, Twitter at eurocsucks, email at eurocsucks@podcast@gmail.com, and Tumblr at eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching this show with us this week. Or not really with us, more of at us, I guess. I want to thank everyone for continuing support, for sending in their OCs, sending in questions, and being just super fantastic people. And I also want to thank everybody for the continued support of us on our Patreon. Remember, if you want to support us, you can always do that at any time with a wide variety of different features and benefits and whatnot. Links in the description below. But that's it for this week's show. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I have been joined by
Commander Sparkle.
Soarinwantspie.
And smooth sailing.
And remember, your OC sucks.